How often did you want to speak up but held yourself back? Either because you feared looking foolish, being judged, or even ridiculed for your ideas. For me, it happened way too often. And did it save me from embarrassment or did it somehow make me look smarter? No. The only thing it did is make me feel foolish for keeping quiet and regretful over all the missed opportunities to voice my ideas. Because who knows where it could have led me? Who knows where I could have been now had I had the courage to speak up then? Fortunately, way too often we fail to realize that our voices are not only our identities, but also portals that create connections and bridges that bring us to new places, allow us to be part of new experiences. But far too often we let fear dictate our choices and our decisions, and those decisions keep us playing small. They keep us feeling useless and powerless. Because by choosing silence, we effectively give away our power. I think we need to realize that we have a duty towards our voice, because our voice is a carrier for our needs and wants. Because I often hear the phrase, speak your dreams into reality, by a lot of people who want to, achieve their goals. And I agree with them, but not because I believe that the phrase itself will magically manifest my dreams into my life, but because speaking up forces us to act, and it forces us to make a decision. Did it ever happen to you that you had such an inspiring and uplifting conversation, or you heard one online, on a podcast, that you felt the urge to do more? You had an awareness that you actually needed to do more, a realization that you could no longer hide behind your excuses. So start inviting opportunities by speaking up about your interests, about your passions and your dreams. Speak even when your voice is shaking and you feel scared. Speak even when you're afraid to look like a fool. You speak even when they're making fun of you or try to intimidate you, or when they try to silence you, especially then. Because every time you silence your truth, a small piece of yourself dies. Until the day you realize that while silence might have felt safe, it was a slow but inevitable death of your identity, of who you were at your core. By silencing yourself, you are effectively erasing yourself. You trade your authenticity for approval and your integrity for safety. There comes a moment in your life when silence stops being peaceful and starts becoming a prison of your own making, because you chose to accommodate everyone around you so they don't feel inconvenienced by your words. And this is not peace, this is disappearance, a slow fading away until only a shadow of you is left. Because to speak up is to affirm your existence, it's to stand by your principles. Personal growth isn't just about becoming better, it's also about becoming more authentic, right, and true to yourself. It's really taking responsibility for the stories you tell yourself and others, and the beliefs you hold, the silences you choose far too often. Because silence is a choice, and so is expression. You can choose to stay unseen, unheard, unchallenged, or you can choose to speak up, take the space you're meant to fill, and rise to the occasion. The world doesn't need an echo. It needs your voice, all of our voices, and especially when they're raw, honest, and alive. Especially when you're afraid and your voice is shaking, but you know deep down that you are doing the right thing. And every loss that comes from speaking your truth is simply a realignment, a redirection towards your true path. The reason why I decided to record this video today is because of something that happened a few weeks ago that made me realize that I have been silencing myself for far too long to keep the peace, to accommodate everyone around me, and to not offend, while inside I was dying of guilt and shame. Again, and while I'm not allowed to discuss what happened, as I'm currently going through a legal battle. But an idea, I was punished when I spoke about an issue that is very dear to my heart, and one that I believe is it is essential that we bring awareness to it. Hopefully one day when it's all over, I'll be able to talk about it. But whatever is the outcome, I don't regret my decision, and I'll do it again given the opportunity, because it really opened my eyes to what truly matters for me and the reality that I was living in, and it was completely misaligned with my values. And it also made me realize that I've been staying silent for far too long just to fit in and to be accepted, trying to be palatable and to not disrupt the peace, whatever that was, because true peace doesn't require you to compromise your morals, and it doesn't ask you to trample your rights or your freedom of expression. Today, if you retain one thing from my message, let it be this: nothing is worth your authenticity. Nothing is worth you silencing yourself so others don't feel offended or annoyed. Nothing is worth you silencing yourself so others feel comfortable. Trying to dim your light so others don't feel overshadowed. Because the people who truly want the best for you and for themselves will bask in your light. They will find courage in your message. They will seek inspiration from your voice. And they will see that the mirror you're holding is a reflection to their own dreams. It will allow them to listen to their own heart and finally hear their own dreams. Dreams that they have buried a long time ago because someone someday made them feel small and shut them down when they try to express themselves. And also, never let anyone tell you who you are or what you need to think and to believe. And most importantly, never allow anyone to make you feel voiceless. I saw a quote on Pinterest the other day, and I unfortunately didn't mention the author and I couldn't find it when I googled it, but it said this: never worry about who will be offended if you speak the truth. Worry about who will be misled, deceived, and destroyed if you don't. And I really felt it deeply in my core, and it showed me that I was on the right path. And it strengthened my resolve to not back down when I was being bullied into silence. And while we're on the topic of truth and authenticity, another of my favorite saying is, remember who you are. You are more than what you have become. Kudos to those of you who guessed who said it. And also, please comment below if ever you had a similar situation where you realized that you were being silenced, and what was your reaction? What was your decision? I would love to hear your stories. Thank you for listening and for staying until the end. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe if you feel like doing so, and share it with whoever might want to hear it. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your day or evening, and wherever you are, please stay safe and stay strong and always speak your truth. Bye everyone.